Hi everyone, this is my practical fitness assessment. My name is LaRose and I'll be talking about 4 different tests and their protocols. The first test I'll be explaining and measuring is the heart rate. Heart rate is the number of times the heart beats or contracts, you could say. Generally it's recorded by beats per minute. This measure acts as a fidgeting check to know that a client is ready to take the active portion of the assessment. So the equipment I could be using for today for the measurement is a stethoscope, timer, stopwatch, which I have a stopwatch with me right here I'm using, a chair with armrests, which is right behind me, and a heart rate monitor, which is optional. Today I'll be using the stopwatch. So now I'll be talking about the protocol for the test. Coming to the measurement, you want to make sure the client stands by the preliminary instructions and doesn't hold any of the symptoms. That will make the client propose to postpone the appointment. So if everything is okay, we'll proceed on with the test. Before we take the measurement, myself or if I have a client with me will be asked to sit in the chair with their feet flat on the floor and their arms on the armrest and rest for about 5 minutes. Before taking the test. So after the 5 minutes is up, I would ask my client's permission to touch their wrist properly and accurately measure their resting heart rate. So I've already rested for 5 minutes before taking this. So for the measurement, I'm going to manually palpate the radial artery. I'll use my index and middle fingers and place them gently on the inside of the wrist, just distal to the thumb. So that's going to be just right here until you feel the pulse. So when you feel the thump, count the beats for 15 seconds starting from 0. So I'll sit down, get my stopwatch ready. So that was 16 beats. You're gonna calculate that, you're gonna multiply that by 4. So you're gonna then ask so that was about 64 beats, sorry. That's like a healthy range for me, so that's good. I would then ask my client politely to sit and rest for another 5 minutes and repeat the procedure. So it's gonna be 2 trials. I'm measuring by the nearest 1 beat per minute. A contradiction that could happen would be if the client had pain or discomfort in their chest at rest. So if that would happen, the client would need to get medical clearance before taking it. So the test would be only terminated if the resting heart rate is 100 beats per minute after the second reading. If that's the case, I would recommend the client to see their physician and provide them the physical activity readiness clearance form. So I have it here with me. So what it's going to look like is just like this. And then this page right here. So the next test I'll be measuring is the waist circumference. The objective for waist circumference is a measurement taken around the abdomen at the level of the belly button. So the measurement uses an anthropometric tape, or you can use a tape measure or a non-stretch tape that's placed around a client's waist level of the iliac crest. It gives an indication of visceral adipsity, so like body fat. The equivalent I would need for this measurement is, like I said, the anthropometric tape or the equivalent non-stretch tape. So before I start this measurement, I would ask the client if they are comfortable with clearing the abdomen of all clothing that's covering their waist, and ask permission to touch their waist, like their skin, and measure accurately. for the protocol. So I will lift my shirt up. So I have my tape measure right here. So I will position my feet shoulder width apart, and my arms will be crossed. If I was a client, I would have my arms crossed, but I don't have my client with me, so I'll be doing it myself. And I'll be in a relaxed manner, not tense. Now, if I had my client, I would then take a knee on the right side of the client's body. So now I want to take the tape and put it above my hip bone, waist level, and the way you'll find this landmark, you're going to palpate the upper right hip bone of the client until the uppermost lateral border of the iliac crest is found. So you want to use a washable marker. So I have one right here. You want to mark that part. You want to ask permission first. If you have a client here, you want to ask permission to use a washable marker on them. So you want to place the tape at that marker, and make sure you're gonna go all the way around the abdomen. Make sure it's horizontal all the way around. So that's 88 centimeters, which is a good, healthy range for me. So that's good. So you want to, when you're doing that, you want to apply a little tension and make sure it's snug, but not too much, because you don't want to cause any indentation to the skin. So there will only be one trial. I'll be measuring to the nearest 0.5 centimeters. So now going on with the next test, I'll be explaining and demonstrating the push-up test. So I'll just move this chair out of the way. And the push-up test is a measure of muscular endurance of the chest, shoulders, and arms. Muscular endurance is very important for everyday tasks and activities. The equipment you might need for this test is optional. So I have a mat right here you can use. You don't need it. If you do want something like that because your floor is uncomfortable, go right ahead. So the test will be only terminated if the client has pain or discomfort and appears to have troubles doing the 1 to 2 warm-up repetitions we're going to do. For the technique of the exercise, I will lay face down. So I'll get down. You're going to lay face down, feet together, elbows close to the side. And you're going to push up, extending the arms fully. And you go back down. Make sure you're breathing the whole time. So you're going to do 1 to 2 warm-up repetitions. So after you've done those and you can do them fully and there's no problem doing it, you're going to do as many consecutive push-ups as you can. So as many as you can, and there's no time limit, so you just do as many as you can like this. Make sure when you're going all the way down, your chin will come, but your knees and hips don't touch the ground. So I'll be measuring at the nearest 1 repetition. If you aren't able to do the push-ups from the ground, we can make the test a bit easier by using your knees as the pivot point. So I'll demonstrate that now. So you can, same measurement, but your knees will be like this, and your upper body will be straight again, but you're just gonna come down, same thing. Don't use your back, just straight down, arms extending. Okay, so that was the push-up test. So the last test I'll be measuring is the one leg stance. So sorry about that. The objective for static balancing is to maintain a center of gravity within the supporting base while standing or sitting. So, which in this case, we are standing. So balancing on one leg, unipedal stance, as you can call it, requires static balance and leg endurance. So the equipment you may need for this assessment is a chair, stopwatch, and a flat and stable store that you can balance on. So I have my stopwatch and I have a sturdy chair. Some contradictions you may run into with a client is an injury or a condition that can prevent them from doing the test safely. The test will be only terminated when the arms move, the raised foot touches the ground or moves away from the standing limb, eyes open during that closed eyes test, and the maximum 45 seconds has lapsed. So I'll get myself to stand barefoot. I have my socks on. That's still okay. Sorry about that. You stand barefoot right beside the chair. The timer's gonna be on for 45 seconds. So you can use whatever leg first. So I'll use my right leg first, and then lift my left leg up, and you'll time it for 45 seconds straight. So just like that. And if you lose balance a little bit, you can use it a little bit. Don't try to use this too much. Also, for the eyes open test, you want to look at something that's not moving. So just stand and look at something right in front of you, eye level, that's not moving. So you want to make sure that you don't touch your right leg, moves away, stands just like this, right in front of you. So the timer starts once you lift your leg up, and when the 45 seconds and the test ends when the 45 seconds elapse or when the test terminations occur. Repeat the same procedure for the eyes closed test, but with your eyes closed, obviously. And the test starts when the client lifts their leg. Same procedure. Now, if the client or myself loses balance for the first 3 seconds, so if I lift my leg up and I lose balance, I would let my client a second try. If there was an error setting up if they were setting up and they didn't have good balance in the start, I'll let them a second try. And you can do that for both tests. I will be measuring to the nearest 0.2 seconds. So thank you. That was everything. So yeah, thank you very much.